I haven't watched this documentary. You have.
I've been telling you, you got to watch it.
I will.
Do you not want to? Do you think it's like...
I think I already know what they're going to say.
Okay.
So I don't... I'll watch it.
I think you should.
Everybody's talking about it.
It's a really quick one. It's like an hour and a half long. It's super quick.
It's not multiple episodes?
Nope.
Okay.
Just an hour and a half documentary, real quick and easy. I
should have watched it last night. I lost a couple hours of my life watching that debate that I'll never get back. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was I don't even know that there was anything to watch. I feel like it was just...
It was terrible.
It was like my kids arguing in the back seat.
I should have watched Netflix, The Social Dilemma.
Yes.
How the social dilemma relates to your business. Rachel Haidt wrote this for Inman. And so she breaks it down into 3 categories. The presentation, talking about the actual documentary. She was a little disappointed in how the creators just assumed consumers have no idea how manipulated they actually are on social media by algorithms. I would agree with this for an adult. You've got some points that for kids, obviously.
But even as an adult, I mean, obviously you know that you're being manipulated, but like the documentary goes into how educated. I mean, so some of these code writers were writing code to get you to literally every few seconds check your phone. Like, these notifications are on purpose for you to then re-engage, because the longer you're off your phone,
which I've turned all those off.
Yeah, you should. But still, like the scrolling is like slot machines. Like, so I think what it goes into is not just so much about the fact that you are being manipulated, but the amount of like effort and teaching and code writing like that is going into, and again, all these guys, I mean, when you look at their credentials, like they were at Facebook, and then they were at Google, and then they were at Pinterest, and then they were on Instagram. I mean, it's pretty much the same 5 guys just rotating around making each of these apps. But what's going into it though, where one guy said that he had to actually write a code to get himself to not be addicted, because he himself fell into the trap that he himself had written. I guess I hear her, but I'm like you said.
Here's
so
the thing,
kids,
though, like,
they did talk about children. They talked about they did talk about the fact that girls in middle school from 2009, like suicide rate has like drastically increased.
All that stuff is real and it's legitimate with our youth. We're gonna take the youth out of it for this,
because it's about your business.
Because it's about your business.
Yeah.
But you made a point, and we're just talking adults right now, that this code writer had to create another code for him to stop using his phone as much.
Yes.
You know that if you drink too much, you're going to get hungover.
Well, but I keep doing it.
But you keep, not all the time, but potentially there are times where maybe you'll have a couple of drinks extra that'll make you hungover.
Right.
You know this, yet so many people, like, especially watching this, real estate agents, 95% of you guys drink, right? Like, it's in our industry. Everybody's drinking, having doing events or whatever. The old broke agent joke is like,
well, it's the same exact
drinking.
thing though. They're triggering the same thing that alcohol is, and the same thing that drugs are.
Right.
Like it's releasing endorphins that make you feel instantly gratified.
My point is, no matter how much you know you're being manipulated or don't know, it's still a personal choice. You're still choosing to go out and have that drink, or choosing to go and kill 3 hours on the Instagram feed. The other part of it is like you'll hear people blame Facebook or Instagram or TikTok for feeding them a specific type of content. They're only feeding you content that you have searched on your own and shown a pattern to really research and search. I don't know if they got into that in the social media.
It did. It certainly went into the fact that, what my online experience is so vastly different than your online experience, and what Sam's online experience is, and what my husband's online experience is. Even with us living in the same home, like what my husband is being fed and what I'm being fed, which again, they really sort of went into the fact that that's why, obviously entering voting season here, like why we're so polarized.
That's exactly right. Like if your algorithm is feeding you one party information, right? We're in a 2-party
You're not even
country.
getting the other half of the story. So that's why you're like, what? These people didn't read this article. How can they still like so and so? It's like, I never saw that article, but it's on purpose.
You're getting fed 99% of your feed information that says, CNN is fake news. The minute you see the other side, you just automatically say fake news, right? Like there's that going on. So, and I'm not saying that it is or it isn't fake news. I'm just saying that when you see something over and over and over and over again, because that's the side that you believe in,
right,
it reinforces that you believe it more. You go deeper into that,
of course,
into that category or that division.
So I do have to kind of disagree with her a little bit though on the presentation, because I think that there are a lot of people in this world that don't know. I mean, I look at like my mom and like my in-laws, like they're still answering those phones, giving their social security number over the phone. I think a lot of people.
I mean, I see it with some. I actually walked into a client's house one time, and they were in their late 80s, and they had a desktop, and the desktop was like making sirens, and it was like telling them to do weird things, like in a weird voice, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what should we do?" I'm like, "Unplug it out of the wall, like throw it out the window." I don't know, like turn it off for sure.
I do think that there are more people though that are not realizing how manipulated they are.
Yeah, I guess
I
do. I would say that there are certain people that just don't get it. But I would agree with this article. I give human beings, I've always given human beings the benefit of the doubt. I feel like people do know it, just like I know if I have, 4 or 5 drinks, I'm going to be feeling it the next morning as opposed to 1 or 2 drinks. That there's certainly, I can try to convince myself that night, if I drink a couple extra waters, I'm not going to be hungover. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be hungover that next day because
I think you're also kind of comparing apples and oranges, because again, we're talking about what are you being fed to? So I mean, that you're having alcohol, what the outcome is, but things are being fed to you on your screen.
I have the option to go to the search bar and just look up what I want, or I have the option to take it in the face.
Well,
although
on Facebook, that's not necessarily true, because obviously now there's sponsored posts where these people are now targeting
I don't have to be in the feed. I can go directly to my private Facebook group and just engage there. It's choices, folks. You can say, well, I was at the party and they just kept funneling beers down my throat,
I totally
or you can choose to go sip on some wine in the corner.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's kind of, I'm feeling like I'm understanding what you are saying 100%. I just feel like it's a little different on this end, but different how? People don't have a choice on their phone that they chose to buy. Nobody even made you buy this damn thing. No, I hear you. I'm hearing the choice. I'm agreeing with the choice.
It's an obvious choice. Yeah.
I'm agreeing with the choice.
All right. So the consumers, the realities are spelled out, are real and dangerous, but one major element missing from the film, what I just said.
Free will.
It's all the idea of free will.
Okay.
There are manipulations for sure. And what she goes on to say is children and teens are especially susceptible. And we agree with that for sure.
Yeah. They don't even know better. I mean,
correct.
They don't even know better.
No, I mean, think about it. You and I grew up without.
But that's also the point though. These people want my daughter to feel fat because they then want to sell her the skinny pill.
Well, they say social media for females in particular, grade school, high school.
It's horrible.
It's
the chart
worst.
is and they said that it started right in 2009, which is exactly when social media really sort of it's frightening. No question, it's frightening for my children. It's frightening
as we look at it from the real estate business perspective.
Right.
She gets into the third category here, advertising, and the number one thing that she's cautioned agents the most about when it comes to advertising and building a brand is no one should ever feel tricked into working with you. What I love about YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or any of these platforms that us as agents have the ability for free, a lot of times if we just put in the work to create content and get our message out to more people, is that we can really show who we are, right? And people are pretty up to speed on when they're being tricked if they're watching a video of you see those people all the time. I see it on YouTube, the ads of do you want a business where you sit at home in your pajamas and you do nothing and all the money just keeps flowing in? Those are people trying to trick you.
Right.
But if you are now educating your market on here's the numbers in the market, here's how many homes are available, here's how many are selling, here's what it looked like last month, here's what it looks like maybe next month, here's the stats, here's the data, here's the trends. You're showing people that you know your business. You're not tricking anybody. You're just providing information. And to me, these platforms give us the best opportunity to do just that. And I do not believe for a second that these social media platforms are going to go away. They're going to evolve into something else that's even deeper than what we're doing right now. Of course. Like, it's just going to go.
Well, the amount of data that they have, I mean, maybe Facebook's going to become a brokerage.
She talks about how we have to stop romanticizing the hustle culture, which pressure agents to churn out content like a 24/7 news cycle. I'd say I kind of call that a racket, meaning...
You do?
I call it a racket of like, you better be churning out content.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, because you like churning out content.
No, that's what I mean.
Yes.
So like she's saying we have to stop, like, just start encouraging housing industry to build contents that benefits the consumer. Yes. But if you actually want to build the biggest
well,
brand,
but she's going on to saying that there seems to be so much pressure on agents to become influencers.
That's a great point.
Yes.
And here's where I think we'll provide our biggest takeaway here is do not get on these social channels to become an influencer, because then you are leaving your business, you're leaving your clients, your buyers and your sellers. Like, you're leaving them out to dry. You're not focused on the main thing, which is to provide the best service to your buyers and sellers. If your whole mindset is I want to be an influencer, like I do this show, I do a lot of social media content for my real estate business. I'm a real estate business person first.
Right. So I think as long as your influencer is for your business.
Yeah, but I hear what she's saying.
I hate to call myself an influencer, but I mean, I very much run a business that's based on influencing, but it's really just to bring more value to my business.
I think what she's saying
but I hear what she's saying, and I agree. I mean, and I think that you see a lot of that on even on HGTV though, with all of the agents on there. I mean, they're influencers. I mean, I'm certain that they're selling homes.
You will be disappointed if you think you're going to get to the Ryan Serhant level of influence, or the, I don't know, name another one, right? Of that level of influence on social media. If you're making videos
for that purpose,
yes, the video is going to resonate with no one. If you're making a video to actually bring information and educate of value, then you're going to have a better chance of actually converting for your business. You're doing it for your business, right? Generating leads, awareness, brand,
It's very interesting that she brought this documentary in as like a real estate spin.
I thought it was a great spin. It is a good little piece. It's a quick read. We'll link it up. All right.
But I need you to watch. I need you to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Please watch it.